Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. Hold on, let me make sure that StreamYard is not playing with me. Please hold. Okay. It doesn't seem, StreamYard doesn't seem to be playing with me. I hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you all are doing well. Happy Wednesday. We have made it so far to the middle of the week. And y'all already know how that goes. The rest should breeze by quickly. The rest of the week should breeze by quickly, even if we don't realize it in the moment. Shout out to my boy OSD. He just dropped his new project, Four Piece, aka Stuff So Dope. I'll share one of his songs to my wall, so you guys go check it out and then go check out the rest of his project. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys got your morning started off on a good note. I hope you got some good sleep. And I hope you all are just remaining vigilant, using them eyes and them ears and that brain that God bless you with, especially if you don't have any ailments with your vision or your hearing, and you don't have any learning disabilities. Make sure you remain vigilant and you pay attention. Okay. Hey P, good morning. Say good morning, pretty V. Um, won't he do it? Sometimes that really throws people off sometimes. When I be like, won't he do it? And they be like, yes, he will. I be like, skirt, sometimes. What you mean sometimes, Vim? God can't do it for everybody all of the time. And free will is a hell of a thing. And what I've come to learn throughout my quote unquote journeys in this thing called life is a lot of the things, and maybe sometimes most of the things, that people who believe in God and even people who don't believe in God, and they'll use this as a talking point. Oh, you think that's cool beans? I think it's cool beans if it's something that you want to do, and then you make it a point to do it. Hey, Riaz. Good morning. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So you have people who are both believers, whether they're religious or spiritual, as well as people who are not believers in God, who will take the fact and the point that um he cannot do quote unquote it all of the time for everyone when they want it or when they would like to have it, or even in some cases when they need it. And what I've come to learn, not all, but in a lot of cases with a lot of people, the things that the things that we would like for him to have been able to intervene in or stopped or helped are things that, number one, if we were tapped in fully with our discernment, we would have been able to prevent, you know, or make better ourselves outside of him directly intervening, you know. I'm doing well, fam, good. Appreciate you guys being here. Um, you know, would have made better decision making in certain areas or categories, or with certain people, or certain types of people, and so on and so forth. And a lot of times when he doesn't, Lord, okay, well, you know what to do. Um, and a lot of the times when he doesn't, or if it seems like he doesn't intervene, right? We completely, shout out to Arabia, have fishbowl memories, you know, and completely throw by the wayside all of the many times that he did intervene because we choose to hyper focus on the moments where he didn't. Talking about God, where he didn't intervene, or where when we didn't feel like he intervened. What you mean, what? Yes, when you think of the whole saying, "Oh, won't he do it?" And for me, I'll say sometimes, because a lot of times the moments where he doesn't do it, meaning he doesn't intervene in something that we would like or need or want for him to intervene in, we completely forget, meaning you have fishbowl memory. And I say shout out to Arabia because she would always say that. I'm not a biter. We will always forget so inconveniently many times that he did, quote unquote, do it. And a lot of times we don't need to completely, um, you know, throw our hands in the air and say, he's going to work it out for us. He's going to sort it out for us because he also gave us free will and discernment, and the onus is on us to do what needs to be done with the both of them. So what I would also say is, like, won't he do it? I say sometimes, and that's, and you know, the times that he doesn't do it, it serves us best to remember all the times that he did and do what we can do with the many abilities that he has blessed us with. It's on us to do something with them. Anywho, hold on. the hell? So those of you that know, I love idioms. Those of you that don't know, you will soon, excuse me, find out. Excuse me. And I do this afternoon, as long as everything goes as planned. I do, like I said, I think I said it either yesterday or Monday. I want to touch on Deshaun Watson and that plight of his. I want to touch on Deshaun Watson and that plight of his this afternoon. And what it's given is on Friday for our baseball talk, we're going to have a double whammy. So instead of us discussing, only this past week's goings-ons of baseball and the results of the two series that both my team and my Broham's team played, we are going to also discuss, and really want to first discuss, um, the results for the series we played 2 weeks ago because we didn't do our baseball talk last week on Friday. So it's going to be a double whammy of the sorts. So we're going to be going over two series for each of the team. Excuse me, four series, jeez Louise, for both my team and my Broham's team. So what is that? 6 games. Hold up. Yeah, 6 games is normally what they play. But we're going to be going over the last 12 games they played. I had to think about that for a second. Like, wait, hold up. Yeah, because each series is normally 3 games. Sometimes it can be 4. For rare occasions, it will be 2. But it's going to be 2 weeks worth of that, which would really be 12 games. So it says the emperor, excuse me, has no clothes is an idiom that describes a situation where a widely accepted idea, powerful leader, or social norm is completely flawed or false, but people pretend it is true out of fear, pressure, or conformity until someone finally points out the obvious truth. Okay? Let's see if you guys said anything. Like I said, my bad, y'all. If I sound weird, I don't feel good. Hold on. Hey, SBK, good morning. How are you doing? Well, I hope. Well, I hope. SBK, bro, I was gonna say, you and OSC must be on vacation. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, he works a lot. Works a lot. Appreciate you being here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe our boy is popping out tonight. Tonight. Boom. Hold on. I gotta re-sign into the daggone Nightbot thing. I've been letting Nightbot fall by the wayside. Bless him. Hey Broham, morning CP3. How you doing? Well, I hope. Well, I hope. Hey Shelly, good morning. Hey sis, how you doing? Well, I hope. Girl, we talking about the idiom. The emperor has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes. Shelly said, welcome to everyone. Thanks everyone for joining. Please tap the like button. Why not? Why not? Why wait? Have a Snickers. Why don't you? So I'll reread it for anybody who just came in and didn't hear it, even though I have it in my description, but so what? All right, it says the emperor has no clothes is an idiom that describes a situation where a widely accepted idea, powerful leader, or social norm is completely flawed or false, but people pretend it is true out of fear, pressure, or conformity until someone finally points out the obvious truth, which is what the emperor is butt naked. But how can you not see that? Do your eyes not work? So let's see. Origin of the phrase. The phrase comes from the 1837 fairy tale, The Emperor's New Clothes, by Danish author Hans Christian Andersen. Okay. In the story, con artists sell an emperor an expensive suit of quote unquote invisible clothes, claiming the fabric cannot be seen by anyone who is stupid or unfit for their job. And so what that was the loop-de-doo that these con men hit this emperor with. They said, hey, only stupid people are people who are not fit for their job. And they're talking to an emperor. He's both stupid. Um, so obviously, in this case, the emperor and his officials pretend to see the clothes so that they don't look foolish. Because these con men done told them, these con artists, never mind con men, they're artists. They done mastered their craft. Or at least they had a good mark. They done told them like, hey, you only not gonna see this fit if you not fit. And the emperor said, what? Oh, this thing is flying. Mind you, there's nothing there. Okay. The emperor walks through town naked until a young child from the mouths of babes, until a young child yells out the simple truth. But he hasn't got anything on. He's naked. What is this madness? What is this madness? And of course, it would have to be a child, as if anybody else's eyes who laid upon that sight did not see the same thing this child has seen. But not only did this child see it, they couldn't help but to say, but wait, he hasn't gotten anything on. He hasn't got anything on. Especially the many times I can imagine the same child was probably ridiculed about their attire and how to present themselves properly when you leave this house, before you leave this house. Then they see an emperor go out there butt booty ball naked. Ain't that about it? You know what? Hold on. Ain't that about a kick in the head? Oh yeah, P, my girl be doing her thing. Literally. He said, good sis, hope you well. I don't feel but as well as a whole. I'm straight. So hold on, y'all. Imagine that, y'all. You seeing and you noticing. Hold on. There's some things that just aren't right. There's some things that just aren't right. They are just not adding up. The quote unquote math is not mathing. This doesn't make any sense, right? And you're looking around and you're wondering, why does nobody else seem to realize that the quote unquote emperor has no clothes? Why is that? Why is that? In situations where things just, they're flawed. And if it's a situation where somebody has a quote unquote position of power and they move in flawed ways and they make flawed decisions in regards to what to do with said quote unquote power, and you realize it, and like I said, stuff is not adding up or making sense or is not right or valid, but there's so many who don't, and you can't help but wonder why or how that is. And then, of course, we circle back to what this idiom means. People pretend it is true out of fear, pressure, or conformity until someone finally points out the obvious truth. Out of fear, pressure, or conformity. Imagine being the type of person who lacks the ability to properly acknowledge what is clearly there, what is visible, because they're fearful or scared of how, whether it be this powerful leader will react or respond or take to that, or how their masses, their peers will react or take to that, and whatever response they will get out of pressure, being pressured by said leader or by said peers or masses to just quote unquote go with the flow, don't rock the boat, don't go against the grain, whoop-de-doo and whoop-de-doo, which is also tied into being fearful because you only give into pressure or being pressured if you are fearful and or if you are a weak-minded individual, regardless what you can bench press, or regardless, uh, to the fact that you may be one of the type of people that are quote unquote with it. You've been battle tested. You can hold your own, blah, blah, blah. But when that mind is weak, it don't matter how strong you are when it comes to sitting here doing a bunch of yelling and cussing and carrying on and bull crap. But when you still lack the ability to be able to simply say the emperor has no clothes when you can see that they out there butt booty ball naked. You can't call a thing a thing. Or out of conformity. And let's look up real quick the meaning of conformity. Let's do that though. Conformity means changing your behavior, beliefs, or attitudes to match group norms, social expectations, or specific. My alarm went off. Let me see. Did it mess me up? Can y'all let me know if you can hear me? Okay, cool beans. And what did you say, P? Charlie, I'm waiting on you to drop the link because be very picky and inconsistent with hers. Don't make me get on you because you have plenty of opportunities to hit the link and you aren't able to. That's on you, honey. Duh. All right, let's see. So I went over the definition of the word conformity, right? Okay. And those are the three main reasons why somebody or people who can clearly see and hear will act as if they didn't see what they saw or hear what they heard. Let's see. It says modern usage. We're gonna go over this real quick and then I'm out of here. Speaking truth, to power. It is used when a brave person calls out corruption, incompetence, or absurd behavior in a powerful person that everyone else is too afraid to challenge. Speaking truth to power. Okay, and we're going to go over modern usage of the idiom, the emperor has no clothes. Exposing collective illusions. Exposing collective illusions. It highlights situations where a group goes along with a lie because they assume everyone else believes it, creating a false consensus. I'm going to read that one again. Exposing collective illusions. It highlights situations where a group goes along with a lie because they assume everyone else believes it, creating a false consensus. Okay, that's what I have for you all this morning in regards to the idiom. The emperor has no clothes. And I appreciate everyone who came. I hope you guys were able to get something out of this. Okay. Hope you're able to get something out of this. Remain vigilant. Thank you to everyone who came. Thank you to the cloud dwellers. And thank you to anyone who will catch the replay. Let me see. Of course they did. Otherwise they wouldn't be doing their job. Otherwise they wouldn't be doing their job. Anywho, y'all have a great day. And I'll catch y'all later. Bye.